Hello, ladies and gentlemen. It is your host with the biggest nose, Jay-Z Courtside, coming at y'all today on Friday, February 20th. Guys, I know what you're thinking. Wow, Jay-Z, I'm sure you're happy about the Pistons winning. I'm sure, wow, that win felt good. Doesn't matter. We're not even starting with that game today because we got way more entertaining games to talk about, like Cavs versus Nets or Pacers versus Wizards. Like, there's just the NBA slate is just way too intuitive to skip over them. I hope everybody's having a phenomenal start to their day. I'm very happy to see you guys today. Happy Friday, happy Frisky Friday, happy Freaky Friday. You made it to yet another weekend. I'm very happy for all of us. We did it. And what better way to start our weekend off by talking about NBA basketball? I want to get right into today's episode. But today we're going to be breaking down some of the most important key games from last night that I found extremely entertaining. And then we're going to and then the next segment will be just quickly any takeaways from the other games. So like if, you guys are the Suns or you guys are the Spurs or you guys are the Rockets or Hornets, you guys will be spoken about today, just not as much as the first two games that were on the NBA slate that I think were the most important, most entertaining. And then we're going to be ending today's episode off with talking about some recent news with the anti-tanking rules that Adam Silver is adjusting. And then we also have some other hot takes that I want to mention. And it's going to be in a fun segment that we call Up or Down. Shout out No Dunks. It's the Up-Down Report. I'm going to say a topic, and you are going to let me know whether you are up or down. Podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review and play along, of course. Live crew, meaning the YouTube chat, the TikTok chat, the Twitch chat. Be sure to drop likes, follow, subscribe, do all that, and enjoy, of course, because you guys know we do these live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. And, of course, TikTok, be sure to spam the like button, YouTube, spam the like button, and Twitch. You guys know what y'all got to do, man. Sit back, relax, grab a cup of coffee, an energy drink, whatever it may be, and enjoy the show. Let's get into it, yo. Up first, we're going to talk about the game that was pushed heavily across all sports media, and that was on Prime at 7:30 p.m. Eastern last night, and it was the Detroit Pistons absolutely decimating, once again, the New York Knicks in New York this time around. So the Pistons sweep the season series 3-0 against the New York Knicks. They defeat the Celtics 3-1. And the Detroit Pistons yet again have defeated the New York Knicks. And here's the thing. I got to say it immediately for everybody watching. The Pistons are without their all-star, Jalen Duren. They're without their cat stopper and backup, Isaiah Stewart. In case you guys don't know, if you don't watch Pistons basketball, Tobias Harris is the first person to come out of the game. And then they run Stu and Duren for like 4 or 5 minutes. Together, and then they typically close the game together as well because Duren and Stu are the best front court in the NBA, and I won't be told otherwise. And this is without both of them. So I need you guys to understand, this is without Jalen Duren, who is Cade's number one option to hit in every pick and roll situation. When Cade gets blitzed at the 3-point line, Cade finds Duren finds Duncan or Tobias or Asar Thompson in the dunker spot. That's straight up what happens. So you are eliminating Cade Cunningham's number 2 option. And then Cade Cunningham decides to go ahead and drop 42 points, 13 assists, 8 rebounds, 2 blocks, 50% from the field goal percentage. And I got to be honest with everybody. I think the most important stat that isn't even named here is the fact that he had 3 free throws. I think everybody can agree. Knicks fans, Pistons fans, basketball fans. Cade Cunningham has the worst whistle out of any, superstar in the NBA. Superstar or star, he's got the worst whistle. He's got the worst one. I think you could easily make an argument that Cade should have had 12 to 15 free throws last night. But you know what? Cade doesn't do that. 2 days ago, before this game, when he was interviewed in New York, Cade Cunningham said, I don't understand why so many players play to get fouled. They flop, they flail their arms. I don't understand that, said Cade Cunningham. Cade Cunningham also went on to say, I think my favorite compliment that I get as an NBA player is that how pure my game is, that I don't seek foul calls, that I don't get foul calls. He's like, I'm sure once people start recognizing my team for who they are and me for who I am, maybe then I'll start getting some foul calls. But until then, I'm going to continue playing my game and continue making myself and my family and my team around me proud. Cade Cunningham had 3 free throws on a 42-point night. I can't tell you the last star or superstar to drop that kind of game immediately after talking shit about the players who flop and flail. I can't tell you. Now, mind you, I got to take y'all through the process. The Detroit Pistons had Paul Reed starting. Paul Reed, our third center on our team, and he proceeded to punk Karl-Anthony Towns down to the final whistle of this game. Paul Reed, 18 points, 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 blocks, 1 steal, 7 for 9 from the field, and absolutely just bodying a player who makes $55 million a year in Karl-Anthony Towns. That shouldn't happen. That should not happen. Before I talk more Pistons, the headline is the Knicks. I have to talk about the Knicks. And I'm not going to over-exaggerate whatsoever because yesterday I said that I believe the New York Knicks are going to look hot for the remaining of this regular season and they're going to get going. I said the New York Knicks are going to find a hot streak and get going. That's what I said. I thought them beating the Pistons last night would be what sparks them and just continues this unbelievable hot streak. Okay? That's what I thought. It's time to talk about almost the entire starting lineup for the New York Knicks, okay? First of all, I'm going to start with Jalen Brunson, and I'm going to say, JB, you did your thing, man. Jalen Brunson, you did your thing. You had 33 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. The only unfortunate part is that you had 6 turnovers, which is a lot. But he shot an efficient 12 for 20. And on top of that, I do have to say, Cade Cunningham, didn't matter who was on him. Didn't matter who was on him. At first, they were switching Brunson onto Cade. And that was just funny. That was just comedy. If you guys want a good laugh this morning, go ahead and watch Jalen Brunson try to guard Cade Cunningham. Up next, you had Mikal Bridges. Let's talk about Mikal Bridges. He had 8 points, 3 rebounds, 1 steal, -6 on the court, and he was 4 for 9 from the field, 0 for 3 from deep. Before I just single out Mikal Bridges, I want to talk about OG, Mikal, and Cat. They shot a combined 2 for, I believe, 15. 2 for 15 from 3. 2 for 15 from 3, guys. 2 for 15. So I got to start with Mikal Bridges. I know you guys want me to start with Cat probably, but I want to start with Mikal Bridges. They traded 5 first-round picks for this guy. 5. I know Knicks fans right now, this is not an overreaction. He's had 2 good games all year, and I can remember those 2 good games. 3 tops. Mikal Bridges, had he went to the University of Michigan, had he went to the University of Memphis, had he went to Berkeley, had he went to Florida State, had he went to Oklahoma, any other school, that would have been great for Knicks fans. But unfortunately for Knicks fans, he went to Villanova. And because he went to Villanova, they overpaid for a guy that's average. This guy looked embarrassing last night. There were multiple plays where he has an open lane to the hoop. An open lane to the hoop. And what does Mikal Bridges do? He catches the ball and fades away on the baseline from 10 feet out. Bro, is your Iron Man streak that important to where you do not want to be touched all basketball game? You do not want any contact. You do not want to get your pinky bent in an awkward fashion. You do not want to bruise. You don't want to scratch. You don't want anything. You have an open lane to the hoop. An open lane. And yet you catch the ball and still fade away from 10 feet out. Still. I think Knicks fans should be way more critical on Mikal Bridges than they are critical of most players on this team. He is not what you guys traded for. This is so bad. I'd say, like, Mikal Bridges is honestly worse for this team because he is not only fucking your present, excuse my French, he is also fucking your future. You paid 5 first-round picks for him. At least for Cat, he's only taken, I say only, he's only taken $125 million for the next year and a half. So there's that. Cat is making $55 million this year and $60 million next year. So at least Cat is only fucking your present. Mikal is fucking your present and your future. Let's talk about OG Anunoby. This guy I'm going to be a little bit lighter on, but I'm also not going to give him praise much because OG Anunoby as well has only had good games this year, maybe 3 tops. OG came back. He had his toenail fully removed, and that's okay. But is that any excuse for missing every... Bro, he shot 1 for 8 from 3, 3 for 13 from the field. So, with that being said, I think the worst aspect of OG last night is his defense. And can I be honest with everybody? I have not been impressed with OG at all year. At all year. He has not shown me anything from last year OG Anunoby at all. He just hasn't shown me anything. He's had 2, maybe 3 good games this year offensively, but defensively, he did have a good stretch. Everyone had a good stretch, to be fair, for that 9-game winning streak or 8-game winning streak. Yeah, 8-game winning streak that the Pistons shattered. This is not looking like the OG Anunoby we know. And I got to be honest, y'all. They have no answer for Cade Cunningham. They went and got Jose Alvarado and Jeremy Sochan. And here's what I can tell y'all. Jeremy Sochan showed a good 30 seconds of defense on Cade Cunningham last night. 30 seconds. I'll give him 30 seconds total where he played good defense on Cade. And then Cade just absolutely embarrassed this man. Straight up took him, abused him, and sent him flying. Like, this move here was just absolutely disgusting. Cade breaks him down. Tween. Step back 3 in his face. Sochan had nothing to do except for laugh because he got fried. And then Cade was talking shit. Cade was screaming in his face. I want to say what he said, but I can't. He said, boom, buddy. And now I'm being told in the TikTok, and this is hilarious. This is hilarious because this is all Knicks fans can cope with. And that's my next point. Are you ready? They're saying Cade took 34 shots. Who the fuck else was going to take those shots is my question. They're missing Stu, who averages 15 shots a night. Or sorry, Duren, who's averaging 15 shots a night. Who else is going to shoot? Cade shot 50%. 50%. I'm being told Tobias Harris can shoot. Tobias shot 4 for 16 last night. When Tobias Harris is your number 2 option, are you mad that Cade Cunningham is shooting 50% from the field? Nobody else was taking the shots, TikTok. You know what? I think it's time. I was going to save this for a little bit later, but I think it's time. Let me take you guys through. I'm being told that Cade is shooting 34 shots every night. That is comedic. You don't watch basketball. I'm going to take you guys through what Knicks fans are thinking. So first of all, you still have these specific Knicks fans, okay? Good win, Pistons Nation. Hope you enjoyed your Super Bowl. Maybe you'll win one day when it counts like the Knicks do on your home floor. And he's spamming the Jalen Brunson clip on Ausar Thompson in 2026. This is the best thing that has happened to the New York Knicks since 1973. The way they spam this clip, you would think that the Knicks went on to win a championship, and they didn't. So you still have Knicks fans that are delusional like this, okay? You still have Knicks fans who are delusional like this. They're still coping and saying, hey, we win when it matters. No, you don't. You haven't won anything since 1973. 1973. Look at this guy and tell me I'm going to allow whatever he says to affect me. Let's continue. There's other Knicks fans out there, and I got a list of tweets. I want to show you what Knicks fans are finally thinking. Hoodie Brunson, one of the worst accounts on Twitter, posted a picture of Cade Cunningham and said, you are our owner, our franchise master, our kryptonite, we are your slave, in regards to Cade Cunningham. This guy said, these regular season matchups matter more to the Pistons. That much is obvious. The Knicks have 0 to prove in these games, and none of this matters once we get into the playoffs. We'll see what happens when all the chips are down. Now, this is my favorite point that Knicks fans are making, and I have prepared all of my notes. I have brought all of my receipts. Are you guys ready? Celtics fans, cover your eyes. I love this. I love when people say, the Celtics swept us last regular season. That means nothing. All right, let's go over why the Celtics got swept, okay? So, I always say the Celtics rely on three-point shooting. If their three-point shot is not falling, they're going to lose. Now, here we go. In game 1, the Celtics lost. You know why? They attempted 60 three-pointers. I need you to hear me one more time. The Celtics against the Knicks in the playoffs last year attempted 60 three-pointers. They made 25% of them. Now, I'm a firm believer, and I've been praising this all season long, that when the Boston Celtics make 23s, they don't lose. You can look at their stat record. When the Boston Celtics make 23s, they do not lose. Let's continue. Game 2 last year, the Celtics attempted 43s. They only made 10. They shot 25%. They lost. Okay? Game 3, the Celtics won. You're probably wondering, how many threes did they make? They made, hold on, I'm losing my thought. They made 23s. Guess what? They made 23s and they shot 50% from deep. So, of course, the Boston Celtics won. Let's go next. The Boston Celtics lost. I wonder why. Well, it's because they only made 37% of their threes and they only made 18 of them, not 20. Guess what? The Boston Celtics won game 5. How many threes did they make? 22. They shot 45% from 3. The Boston Celtics lost game 6. I wonder how many threes they made. 12. So once again, the Knicks are still my favorite to come out of the East. They're still my favorite. But you can't get punched in the mouth and still talk about last season. Because, ladies and gentlemen, this is not last season. Karl-Anthony Towns is not playing like Karl-Anthony Towns from last season. The Detroit Pistons, which I think is the most important note, are not last year's Detroit Pistons. They're not using Tim Hardaway Jr. and Malik Beasley and Dennis Schroeder to guard Jalen Brunson. They're using Ausar Thompson. They're using Ron Holland. On Ausar Thompson and Ron Holland, Jalen Brunson shot 12% last night. He got all of his other buckets on everyone else. So when he's being guarded by Ausar Thompson and Ron Holland, last year is very different than this year. Okay? So I have to repeat myself. This is not last year. Knicks fans, you can say, we got swept last year by the Celtics and we still went on to win. Well, I just showed you why the Celtics rely on three-point shooting and why that happens, why they lose those games. And now I got to show you some real Knicks fans who are actually using their brain cell and not being fed by emotions. Here we go. This guy said, and once again, the Pistons absolutely shit on the Knicks. Gutless collection of frauds. These are all Knicks accounts, by the way. Knicks Nation said, so yeah, the Pistons are really good, and the Knicks have just folded in every game against them this year. All bad. Another Knicks account, they just can't even compete with the Pistons. Maybe a switch magically gets flipped in the playoffs, like what happened versus Boston. But every game has been an ass-kicking. Cade Cunningham said he was the best player in the league. Called out some of the top players in the league for being floppers, and then drops 43 points. I think he had 43, 13 assists, 8 rebounds at Madison Square Garden. Yeah, there's levels. As a Knicks fan, I'm officially worried about the Pistons. They're going to trade the shit out of Cat in the summer. Shake my head. New York Knicks literally has not a single answer for Cade Cunningham. No adjustment, no matchup, nothing is working. Another Knicks fan, this shit sucks. Pistons are tough. The Pistons are incredible, and it's a major fucking problem. I'm at a sincere loss for words for how badly we got punked by this team. My point being in reading all of these tweets is not to make Knicks fans upset. It's to wake you guys up and realize you guys can keep quoting last year all you want. This is a different team. This is a different team. This is a much different team. And while the Pistons look better, the Knicks look worse. This is obvious. This is not me just spewing facts because I'm a Pistons fan. This is me spewing facts because I am a basketball fan. And what the Pistons did last night was absolutely unbelievable. It was just completely an embarrassment on the Knicks end. And it's not just a regular season thing. The Pistons proved that they wanted it more than the Knicks, and they just punked them in every way imaginable. I could continue this talk about the New York Knicks and what Karl-Anthony Towns did last night, but all I truly have to say is Karl-Anthony Towns is being paid $55 million. The New York Knicks have a window of a year and a half. The Knicks have a year and a half left of being a contender. That's it. That's all the Knicks have. And I can't help but say, as a Pistons fan, what a shame. None of the players that you have in your rotation, you drafted them. These are all guys. Actually, I think Landry Shamet might have got drafted by them. And same with Mohamed Diarrhea. But everybody else, this is what happens when you go and fetch all your players from other teams. Your window is so small. I also want to say, with Karl-Anthony Towns, he woke up in the third quarter, but watching Karl-Anthony Towns is just an absolute embarrassment. I hate having my eyes on Cat when watching basketball. I think Knicks fans agree. He is horrible this year. He is not good at basketball. He's getting outworked and outclassed by a G leaguer named Tolu Smith. Tolu Smith. How do the New York Knicks get out-rebounded when both of the Pistons' leading rebounders are out of this game? All it is heart and effort. The Pistons are missing both their front court guys, and you're getting out-rebounded by Tobias Harris, Paul Reed, and Tolu Smith. They're not moving the ball around, and I'm being told, like, oh, they shot so poorly. The Pistons didn't shoot well either. They shot well from the field, but not from three-point land, and this is what happens, man. The Knicks haven't taken the Pistons. I think they've taken the Pistons serious. The Pistons just punched them straight in the mouth. So I got to say this again, man. Brunson needs to do a better job of getting his teammates involved. He had 8 assists, but he only had 9 potential assists. Cade Cunningham had 23 potential assists last night. There's a major difference in players. Cade Cunningham wants to get his teammates involved. Jalen Brunson doesn't care to get his teammates involved. And that, as well as his lack of defense, because Brunson's horrible. He's the worst defender in the entire NBA. Karl-Anthony Towns is not protecting him being the backup. It's just not going to happen. The refs really were pulling for the Knicks last night as well. I got to be honest. The foul calls were egregious, and the Pistons still somehow got it done. They somehow still managed to get it done. And on top of all of this, I've been gassing up Cade. I've been talking shit about the Knicks. I just got to say this. Duncan Robinson, unsung hero last night. When the Pistons couldn't get any offense going at the start of the third quarter, Duncan rattled home 3 threes back to back to back. That was huge. I got the Pistons offense rolling. Tobias Harris, unsung hero. I know he only shot 4 for 16, but man, he got you buckets when you needed them. And then again, I got to shout out the Pistons bench. Karis LeVert is impressing me day by day. Dennis Jenkins got in early foul trouble, but still cooked everybody on the Knicks. Ron Holland only had 12 minutes in his first game back, and he was still 3 for 3 perfect. Javonte Green doing dog things. And I got to give another special shout out to Ausar Thompson. I don't know if you guys watch basketball, but I think Ausar Thompson and what he's doing is truly being underestimated. He was Ausar Thompson was everywhere. Every time the New York Knicks ran a high pick and roll action, Ausar Thompson would break it up. And like pick and roll is such a kindergarten move, and everyone should know how to defend it. But Ausar Thompson was breaking up every single high pick and roll. He was stopping Cat from driving to the hoop. He was stopping OG or McCall or anybody from getting open after they would set a screen. Ausar Thompson was blowing up their entire offense by himself. Ausar Thompson is truly the MVP of that last, of all of these wins. Ausar Thompson's playing 31 minutes. I think that's the most minutes he's ever played in a game this year. To finish this talk off, Cade Cunningham, he did his thing last night. He was in his bag, and people are finally realizing that when Cade's three-point shot is falling, and I think he's finally got it back. Cade was dealing with a wrist injury that really hindered his three-point shot this year. Cade, in his last 8 games, is shooting 51% from the field, 44% from 3. That should not go unnoticed. When Cade is shooting percentages like that, you can't stop this guy. You cannot stop him. If he continues this trajectory or even gets near it, I mean, it's very hard to root against the Detroit Pistons, man. They really did their thing last night. They really, really did their thing last night, man. I'm going to go ahead and end the TikTok. So if you guys want to enjoy more of the stream, be sure to leave that stream and come through to the Twitch stream. That's JZ Uncut. It's the same name as the TikTok. I'm gonna go ahead and end the TikTok. So if you guys, like I said, want more of this stream because we're going on to our next game right now, be sure to come through to the Twitch. I'm ending the TikTok right now. We're still live on Twitch, still continuing the episode. Here we go, y'all. So we're gonna talk about the next game, the Nuggets and the Clippers. Now, this game was a lot of fun to watch. I watched the full thing this morning, the condensed version with makes and misses. Something I have to say is, first off, Benedict Mathurin did his thing. He off the bench dropped 38 points, tying his career high, which is absolutely insanity. Shout out to Benedict Mathurin. He did his thing. Kawhi Leonard was getting doubled and tripled all night, and he still managed to get 23 on 8 for 18 shooting. I think the biggest highlight for this game for me was Derrick Jones Jr. near the end of the game got a big and one on Jokic, and then he proceeded to hit a pull-up 3 from the wing, and that was huge. That gave the Clippers the lead. And I got to start off by saying, I don't know what it is about Jamal Murray, but for some reason, this guy's getting a whistle on game-winning shots throughout this season. I'm not exaggerating. This is the 5th time I have seen Jamal Murray get fouled on a 3-point shot and get free throws to win a game. And guess what? This is the fourth time I've seen him lose the game from the free throw line. He had to hit 3 free throws to tie this game up. He missed the last one. This is not the first time that's happened to him. In both matchups against the Detroit Pistons this year, he managed to miss the game-winning free throws in both those games. Not once, not twice, but 3 times, multiple times. He had 3 opportunities and still missed free throws at the end of the game. I think this speaks more volumes as to who Denver is missing. They're still missing Aaron Gordon. They're still missing Peyton Watson. And they're missing Jalen Pickett as well now. But honestly, nobody was efficient for the Nuggets last night. Nikola Jokic again going 0 for 6 from the three-point line. His three-point shot has full-on abandoned him as of late. At the start of the year, he was shooting threes horribly. Like, he had multiple games where he was 1 for 12, 1 for 11. And now that he's come back from injury, he's doing the same exact thing, man. He is not shooting well whatsoever. He's not shooting well. And I don't know if it's because of, the injury. I'm not sure what it is, but every time he comes back from an injury or misses time, he can't hit any shots at all. He was 0 for 6 from 3 last night, 9 for 22 from the field. And this is arguably Cam Johnson, his best game as a Nugget. He was 6 for 12 with 18 points. Christian Brown, 50% from the field with 7 points. Julian Strawther had a really good game, 18 points. He was 6 for 11, but Jamal Murray, inefficient, 5 for 15, 20 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists. He had 10 free throws. I can only dream of getting that many. And then Bruce Brown had a big game off the bench, and that's an average Tim Hardaway game, going 1 for 5 from deep. He has those nights a lot. But I think this speaks more volumes about who the Los Angeles Clippers are, y'all. Benedict Mathurin is nice. Benedict Mathurin is nice. I don't know what his contract is going to look like. I don't know if they're going to re-sign him. I think Benedict Mathurin, he is a restricted free agent in Denver. So I don't know whether or not they're going to bring him back, but man, he is like, talk about an inconsistent player, dude. Like, you want to talk inconsistent, you never know what kind of Benedict Mathurin game you're going to get. And last night, when you get a game like that, you can only laugh because it's truly unbelievable. He has shown the potential. He has flashed that potential so many times. And yet, it wasn't good enough to stay with the Pacers. They still traded him. Kawhi still did his thing, man. But I think Derrick Jones Jr. was the unsung hero of the starting lineup. He had 22 points, 7 for 15, and 2 of the biggest shots of the game. It was incredible. Benedict Mathurin definitely won them this game. They win by 1 point, and don't look now, but the Los Angeles Clippers are 1 game below 500. They're still winning. Even though they tried blowing it up, they're still winning, which is just so funny. Brook Lopez is a starter in 2026, apparently. Brook Lopez had a terrible start to the year. Now he's playing well again. It's funny. Like, his defense is still there because he's so long. He's just slow. You know what I mean? I don't think the Clippers are going to make it out of the first round. In fact, if they're up against the Spurs or I think Spurs, they can take a game. But as far as the Thunder goes, I think that's a clean sweep. The Clippers still are not a good team, but they have players that can have good nights. And if they can have good nights leading up into the playoffs, then we'll see, man. We'll see what's going to happen. I think the Nuggets game, I think the Nuggets just had a very inefficient night. They also didn't beat them on the rebounding when they have better rebounders. So it's just, that's what happens, man. That's what happens. They even outscored them from deep. They shot 32% on 13 for 40, but I think they just fell in love with the 3-ball a little bit too much. They fell in love with it, and they ended up losing. All right, next, guys. Any other takeaways we have from last night? Any other takeaways? Let's talk about them. Well, first off, I want to talk about the Cleveland Brooklyn game. Not long. This is more so not about the specific game itself, but I want to talk about the Cavs. The Cavs have now won 6 straight. And that's a lot of games in a row, especially for a team that was lacking, right? But something I got to talk about with the Cavs is I'm seeing a lot of discourse online talking about it's the Cavs coming out of the East. 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 The Pistons who? The Knicks who? The Boston Celtics who? Listen, y'all. The honeymoon phase for James Harden has arguably the best honeymoon phase in the NBA, like ever. I mean that wholeheartedly. Seeing James Harden come on a team and ball out, we all know it's going to happen. And he's doing it. He's doing it. My issue is, this is James Harden. I'm not worried about the regular season when it comes to James Harden. He has shown time and time and time and time and time again that he'll have a good game 1, he'll have a good game 2, and then he will just disappear for the rest of the playoff series. That has happened every single year. I think the only thing that Cavs fans can sort of cling to is that he has not had a bad playoff series for the Cavs yet. So that's one thing you can cling to. I also want to make note as well of who the Cavs have beat. So I'm not going to fear the beard, Eddie in the TikTok, who can't grow a proper beard apparently. I'm not going to fear the beard when they have beat one playoff team out of the 6-game winning streak. They've beat one playoff team. And mind you, that one playoff team was missing Aaron Gordon, Peyton Watson, Spencer Jones. Out of their 6-game winning streak, I'm being honest, everybody. I'm not being a hater. I'm being honest. The Cleveland Cavaliers have beat the Portland Trailblazers, playing. They have beat the Los Angeles Clippers, playing. They beat the Sacramento Kings, 15-game losing streak, worst team in the NBA. They beat the Denver Nuggets, missing 3 starters. That's the one playoff team. They beat the Washington Wizards, the 2nd worst team in the NBA. And they beat the Brooklyn Nets, the 3rd worst team in the NBA. I'm not moved yet. People are telling me the Cavs are missing Mobley. That's fine. You didn't need Mobley against these bottom feeder teams at all. I'm very excited to watch how the Cavs play for the rest of the regular season. They have a relatively difficult stretch coming up. Tonight, they have a back-to-back against the Charlotte Hornets. That should be fun. The Hornets are still without Miles Bridges and Diabate. But again, I have to say it with my chest, the Hornets are a play-in team. And then they got the Oklahoma City Thunder without Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. And then they got the New York Knicks. That's a challenge. Then they got the Milwaukee Bucks without Giannis, unless Giannis comes back. And then they got the Pistons without Isaiah Stewart. So shout out the Cleveland Cavaliers. They've gotten their wins, but I'm just trying to point out to take these wins with a grain of salt. I'm not hating, I promise. All I'm saying is I'm not getting fooled by James Harden again. I'm being told without Isaiah Stewart. Isaiah Stewart is the best paint protector in the entire NBA. I'm being told by TikTok chat, Stewart doesn't make that much of a difference. He's the best paint protector in the NBA. Isaiah Stewart is the best paint protector in the NBA. So to tell me that without Isaiah Stewart, that's literally the reason why they lost to the Knicks in the playoffs last year. I'm being told, Cap, Isaiah Stewart is... Are we serious? Okay, I'm not going to argue with the TikTok. All the stats back it up. Isaiah Stewart is the best paint protector in the NBA outside of Wemby. So in case you don't believe me, go look up every stat in the NBA right now. If Isaiah Stewart was a starter, he would win Defensive Player of the Year because Wemby would have missed too many games, if he would miss too many games. So yeah, when you look at Wembanyama and then you look at a 6'8" guy who's the best paint protector, look at every single statistic. There's no rage baiting here, TikTok chat. If you guys don't know ball, just truthfully tell me that you don't know ball. It's just so funny because TikTok and Twitter, both, they all spam. I've only seen Isaiah Stewart get in fights. All that tells me is that you don't watch the Pistons, so you can't speak on the Pistons. I'm getting off topic here. We were talking about the Cavaliers. But yeah, Isaiah Stewart is averaging 2 blocks a game. 62% true shooting. He's averaging 10 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. And if you look at every single defensive metric, Isaiah Stewart leads every single one other than Wemby. That's it. So my point being, and the fact that TikTok has to tell me that Evan Mobley is better is honestly, I feel bad for you. I honestly feel bad for you that 18-8, he's not what you expected. I don't think I agree with the whole we didn't have Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley wasn't doing anything because he wasn't playing with Darius Garland. Now that he's playing with James Harden, it's going to be fun. It's going to be very, very fun. My only issue with the Cleveland Cavaliers is that they haven't versed any competition yet, but I'm always a firm believer of saying, beat who's in front of you. And they've done exactly that. They beat the Brooklyn Nets, the 3rd worst team in the NBA. They beat the Washington Wizards, the 2nd worst team in the NBA. They beat the Denver Nuggets without 3 starters by 2 points. They beat the Sacramento Kings, the worst team in the NBA, on a 15-game losing streak. And they beat the Los Angeles Clippers, which that was a big blowout win. Were the Clippers missing anybody? The Clippers were only missing... No, they weren't missing anybody. They just didn't have Darius Garland yet. That's right. So, yeah, all I got to say, man, is it's interesting. It's very, very, very interesting to see what's going on. I think the conference finals are going to be... I think the playoffs are going to be very fun. I'm excited, man. I'm excited. And like I said, I just hope the Cavs fans aren't getting distracted by the honeymoon phase of James Harden. I just hope you guys have not been distracted by that yet, because at the end of the day, it's the playoffs. So it should be interesting. We already talked about the Pistons and Knicks game. We already talked about the Nuggets and Clippers game. We already talked about that. TikTok, if you guys are enjoying the stream, be sure to swing on into the Twitch stream. We'd love to have y'all. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. If you guys want to talk with me, get away from all the idiots in the TikTok, be sure to come through to the Twitch stream. I'm getting questions that they don't know what the honeymoon phase is. The honeymoon phase is when you get a player. It's just like firing a head coach. Every team after they fire their head coach automatically plays better. James Harden is one of those players that when he joins a team, he automatically makes it better. Nobody's doubting that. Nobody's disputing that. He automatically makes them better. He is a better player for the system that they run in Cleveland than Darius Garland is. My issue is like, how can you guys get excited knowing James Harden? He has done it every single year. He has done it every single year. I'm being told that the Cavs were winning without Harden. Listen, man, if being a fifth seed is winning, shout out the fifth seeds out there, bro. Shout out the fifth seeds, man. Isray, thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. I appreciate you very, very much. Shout out to Isray for leaving the TikTok stream and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate you very, very much, baby. Be sure to join the Discord as well. Let's move on to the Houston Rockets Hornets game real quick. Any takeaways? They were the fifth seed prior. God, man, TikTok just does not listen to anything. Again, TikTok, if you guys want to get away from all the morons that don't listen and don't know anything about basketball, come through to my Twitch stream where we all know about basketball and we all enjoy basketball. Okay. The link is in my bio. I hope to see more guys come through to the Twitch. Isray, thank you so much again for coming through to the Twitch. Listen, man, the Rockets almost choked this game away. Shout out the Hornets. They almost managed to win, but they had a horrible game all around other than Grant Williams. That was the Grant Williams legacy game. 20 points in 29 minutes, 9 rebounds, 7 for 10 from the field, 4 for 5 from 3. Grant Williams was doing his thing, but everybody else other than Con Knippel sucked ass. I've said it a million times. I hope they trade LaMelo Ball. 5 for 14, 1 for 6. He's just a shot chucker if he's not facilitating the ball. Brandon Miller, 5 for 22. Con Knips, 5 for 11, man. Seriously, this guy needs the ball way more as a rookie. And then even Salon, bro, he was 3 for 5 off the bench. Yeah, man, I just got to be honest. I know all the kids love LaMelo Ball and how cool he is and how much aura he has, but he's not going to help this team win in the future. It's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. I'm being told by Isray, who left the TikTok stream, he must be a Cavs fan. He came in and said, LOL, imagine thinking a team that has to depend on Duncan Robinson and JB Bickerstaff, known playoff dropper. Their second round exits easy. Hey, man, that's a playoff series win. I'll take that. I'm more than happy. The thing is the Pistons and the Spurs are all ahead of schedule. So just winning one series would be more than enough to satisfy me. And whatever they do beyond that one series, they're playing with house money. So we'll see. Nobody can tell the future. Nobody knows what's going to happen. I appreciate your intentional mean comment in the Twitch stream, but unfortunately, man, you just got the wrong guy. We just want to win a series. Pistons are playing with house money. Let's continue our talk. The Rockets almost sold this game. The Houston Rockets almost sold this game, and the main reason is because they have to rely on a 37-year-old Kevin Durant to carry them in a game. I've talked about the Houston Rockets plenty this year. I have talked plenty. Okay, see, now this is why I don't interact with a TikTok stream. This man left the TikTok, came to the Twitch, and I guarantee he's going to go back to the TikTok and say, I just got banned from the Twitch and brag about it. But this is why I don't fuck with the TikTok chat. He came in and said, you're not winning fuck all, and Cade Cunningham is going to tear his shit soon. Keep it classy, TikTok chat. You guys are a bunch of very, very nice people. I love wishing injuries upon basketball players. I love that. That is so professional. That is so friendly. And that is so nice. Shout out to the TikTok chat for wanting Cade Cunningham to tear his shit soon. So, again, TikTok chat, if you're not like that guy, it's time to come to the Twitch stream. It's time to come to the Twitch stream. Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. Again, it's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. The same name as my TikTok stream. Okay? Come to the Twitch. We'd love to have you. Pistons fan, Blazers fan, Utah Jazz fan, whatever fan you are, get away from the guys that are wishing injuries on players and come to the Twitch stream. We would love to have y'all. When you come to the Twitch, let me know who you're a fan of. And yeah, you'll just join an all-knowing ball community where we all talk basketball and we all appreciate basketball and we don't wish injuries upon people. Cavs fans talking about Cade Cunningham tearing his shit soon. Cool. The Rockets almost sold this game away. And it's because of their offense. Their offense is lackadaisical. Their offense doesn't have a playmaker. Their offense doesn't know what to do. When players are sagging off of Amen Thompson, Ime Udoka doesn't know how to manage that. It just doesn't make any sense. If you have to rely on Kevin Durant, 37-year-old Kevin Durant, in the playoffs, I feel bad for you. That's not going to work out. Jabari Smith Jr. had a good game last night, but if we're relying on Kevin Durant in the playoffs, I fear that you're going to be eliminated in the first round. That's not going to work. You cannot rely on a 37-year-old man to carry you through the playoffs. Otherwise, God forbid, something would happen that guy came in and wished upon Cade Cunningham because TikTok chat wishes injuries on players. That's just so disgusting. Shout out to Rev. He came into the Twitch stream from TikTok. He said, I'm a Timberwolves fan. No bandwagon. Respect, bro. We need some Wolves fans in the Discord. Definitely join up. Shout out to you for leaving the TikTok stream and coming through to the Twitch. Welcome, bro. So, yeah, man, Amen Thompson, bro. It's like as good as he is. Ime Udoka, I feel like this guy just doesn't run plays. I think Mob he nailed it. It's unbelievable. Ime Udoka is just not a good head coach. In my opinion, I don't think he raises the floor as high as it needs to be. I feel like he doesn't know what to do with his rotations. I feel like he doesn't know who to play with who and how to combat the defense on Amen Thompson. You should be able to just run him in pick and roll action. You should be able to just run him into every off ball, on ball, everything. Instead, he just puts Amen Thompson in the corner and it doesn't work. It does not work. It doesn't make any sense to me. This team truly needs Van Vliet. And do we even know if he's coming back? I don't think I've heard any word on Fred Van Vliet coming back. If they don't have him going into the playoffs, this team's a first round exit. I don't care who they play against. This team will not make it out of the first round if they don't have Fred Van Vliet. Who would they verse in the first round right now if playoffs were to start? They would verse the T-Wolves. Yeah, pack it up. Pack it up. Pack that shit up. If they're up against the T-Wolves, pack that shit up because that's not happening. Kevin Durant can only do so much. And that's no disrespect to everybody else, but if Kevin Durant needs to do what he's doing, it's not going to work. I'd like to give a special shout out to two more guys who left the TikTok stream. I'd love to see more leave the TikTok stream and come to the Twitch. Shout out your favorite cousin who's a Pistons fan. My boy, welcome. Join the Discord like my homie Rev just did. Join the Discord, !Discord in the chat. And Suplex Yo Granny. That's a WS name. Suplex Yo Granny, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Shout out to you for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. He said, came from TikTok, but Ime Udoka said in an interview that he doesn't call plays because he expects his players to just figure it out on their own. I did see that. I didn't think that was real. I thought that was AI generated. That was real. Yeah, no, it honestly makes sense why Amen Thompson is hitting this wall. It makes sense. He's not playing him the way he needs to be playing Amen. He needs to run him in pick and roll action. He needs to run him off ball pick and roll action. If Amen Thompson's sitting in the corner or he's bringing the ball up the court and not being defended, that's not a good offensive strategy. I'd like to give another shout out to D Caskier. Thank you for the follow on Twitch, man. I appreciate it very, 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 very much. Shout out to you for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. In case you guys want to understand how the live crew works, basically I only publicly respond when it involves the topic of discussion. So for example, you asking the question about Ivy, we're getting to that later on. So don't you worry. I'm reading every message in the Twitch stream. Don't you worry. We're going to be talking about that. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't make any sense what Ime Udoka is running. It's very weird. It's very, 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 very weird what he's running. Let's move on to the next game. And right now we're going to start moving with pace. Okay. So shout out to Cask, Suplex, Cousin, Rev, and yeah, thank you guys for leaving the TikTok stream and coming through to the Twitch stream. The link is in my bio. Be sure to, if you guys want to talk with us, talk with other ball knowers, be sure to come through to the Twitch stream. That's Jay-Z Uncut on Twitch. I'd love for you guys to come through to the Twitch stream. Shout out everybody that already came through to the Twitch. Guys, remember, if you watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will gift you a $5 subscription so you no longer get ads. Okay? So if you just watch 3 Twitch streams in a row, that's it. 3 Twitch streams in a row, I will gift you a $5 sub so you no longer get ads. All right? So be sure to join the Discord server as well. Exclamation point Discord in the Twitch chat. Real quick, shout out Paulo Banchero. He didn't look like PB No J last night. I was watching this game. 30 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 steal, 1 block. He was a plus 32 on the court. Javon Carter played well off the bench. He was a plus 34, 14 points, 3 rebounds. Desmond Bane had a good game as well. It's the Kings. I'm not going to overhype this game that much, but I will say it's nice to see Paulo Banchero having a good night. But it's the Kings. They're the worst basketball team in the NBA. So I'm not going to overhype it, just like I'm not overhyping. Did the Orlando Magic hit 27 threes last night? 20? Am I reading that right? 27 threes? Oh my God. Okay. Orlando doing their best Celtics impression. That is unbelievable. 27. Again, it's against the Kings that they suck. So shout out the Magic, man. Let's move on real quick. Like I said, we're moving with pace. Boston Celtics versus the Golden State Warriors. Yeah, I mean, if you saw the Warriors starting lineup, you'd know why I'm not talking about this game. Draymond Green, Guy Santos, Moses Moody, DeAnthony Melton, and Pat Spencer. Good fucking game. Celtics drilled 17 threes. The Warriors hit 23s. Doesn't matter. They got outdone in every aspect of the game. 54 rebounds to 40 rebounds. They got killed. Shout out Jaylen Brown's 23 points, but big shout out to fast PP off the bench dropping 26 points. Next, we're moving with pace, y'all. Suns got absolutely embarrassed by the San Antonio Spurs. Did not see this coming. If you've noticed, Suns fans that have not come out to play, they have not talked in the last 24 hours. It's actually sort of unbelievable. Oh, yeah, Porzingis did return as well. Porzingis played 17 minutes and got 12 points, 5 for 9. So not a bad game. He'll probably sit out for the next month, but shout out Tingus Pingus. Yeah, man, the Suns have zero excuse. They were missing Grayson Allen and Dylan Brooks, but you should not be getting smacked like this, bro. The Spurs, I believe, were up by 30 yeah, they're up by 32 at one point. 32 points. Spurs killed them. Everybody had a good game. If you were on the Spurs, you had a good game. If you weren't Keldon Johnson or Carter Bryant, everybody else had an amazing game. Stephon Castle, 20 points, 8 for 11. Wemby, 17 points, 11 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 5 blocks, 7 for 15. I mean, they just had a great game. Everybody on this team had a great game. Everybody. Oh, I did not know that. Devin Booker got injured 9 minutes. Wow, I hope D Book is okay. Yeah, he did get hurt 9 minutes into the game. Good call. Pull out. I don't know what team you support, but I appreciate you for correcting me. Shout out to Pull Out Game for leaving the TikTok stream and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate you, my boy. Thank you. Rev, we're live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. Be sure to join the Discord and get connected with the community, my boy. But yeah, Pull Out Game. Thank you so much for the follow on Twitch. Shout out to everybody that's leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. Be sure to join the Discord as well, guys. I'd love for more of you guys in the TikTok to come through to the Twitch and join the conversation, join the community. We'd love to have y'all over here. I hope D Book is okay. I didn't know he got hurt. And then this game, the Toronto Raptors defeating the Chicago Bulls. I got to talk about this, man. I got to talk about this. The Chicago Bulls are trying to tank. We know that. The Chicago Bulls are trying to tank. But a statement came out last night. Actually, multiple statements came out last night, but I will refer to one. Jaden Ivey had a DNP. It is Steph Curry. Yes, my Twitch name is the same as the TikTok. I'd love to see you guys come through. So, Jaden Ivey, man, he got a DNP. In fact, this is Jaden Ivey's first ever DNP in the NBA. Jaden Ivey was asked for clarification if he was indicated that there are more steps to take health-wise before returning to his old athletic self. Jaden Ivey said, and I quote, "I've been dealing with knee soreness in my knee. I'm sure people can call it out. I'm not the same player I used to be. That's why. I'm not the J.I. I used to be. The old Jaden Ivey is dead. I'm alive in Christ no matter what the basketball setting is, no matter how many DNPs, how many points I score. Those things are a temporary thing. Jesus is eternal." Now, this is why the Pistons traded Ivey. I've tried telling everybody it's not because we believe that Herter is better. He did say that, just so it's confirmed. He did say that. That was on every sports line. He did say that. listen, Jaden Ivey was he was having a career year last year. He was having an absolute career year last year in the first 30 games of the NBA season. And Jaden Ivey went down due to injury because Cole Anthony tackled him to the ground. And I feel for J.I., but it's obvious why they traded him. If you guys look, you will remember I said this in the first couple weeks of the Pistons season this year. Jaden Ivey on the bench is sitting away from everybody. He's sitting on the deep end of the bench. He's not talking with anybody. He's not celebrating when something good happens for the Pistons. He's not getting up from the bench to celebrate with his team, even though he was out. Even when he was back. Even when he's back, he was not celebrating with his team. He was not happy. He was not wearing Black Lives Matter shirts during BLM, during Black History Month. He was not wearing the Martin Luther King shirt on MLK Day. He wasn't doing any of that. He wasn't being a good teammate to his team. And all Pistons fans can attest to this. We were watching him show zero emotion all season long. The Pistons didn't trade him because we believe Herter is better than Jaden Ivey. The Pistons traded him because we don't believe in Jaden Ivey anymore. He hasn't shown us anything. He has looked horrible all year. The only thing he could do is shoot threes, and even then he was super volume shooter. If he's not hitting a three, he's not doing anything on the defensive end. He's not getting your rebounds. Every time he puts the ball on the court, he drops it. And I'm not going to lie to anybody, man. Every single interview I saw with Jaden Ivey, it was him talking about God. He wasn't answering any of the questions. He wasn't answering any of the issues with the team. He wasn't answering anything. It was just going straight to God and Jesus himself. I fear that we're seeing another AJ Griffin story. I fear that that's what's happening. And I don't think Ivey's going to be in the league much longer. I think he'll get another contract, but it's not going to be much. He has not done anything this year to impress. And it's quite unfortunate that Jaden Ivey is getting DNPs already for the Chicago Bulls. My issue is the Chicago Bulls, you should not be running Colin Sexton for 15 minutes. You should not be running these players who are proven players. You should be running Jaden Ivey. You should be running Rob Dillingham. You should be running these certain players because they have no value. In case you guys didn't see, Kenny from Numbers on the Board posted a rant video on Twitter, and I watched the whole thing. And he was talking about, why are you playing like guards like Colin Sexton when you need to play, even if they're not impressive? You need to play Rob Dillingham. You need to play Jaden Ivey. Worst case happens is you lose the game you want to lose. You want to lose. You're selling purposely. You may as well play the guy so at least you can see what you have. Jaden Ivey's a restricted free agent. Why is he getting a DMP? I've said it once. I've said it twice. I've said it 3 times. I've said it 4 times. My Bulls fans, you can attest. You've heard me say this 100 times. There's no reason Billy Donovan is one of 3 the longest tenured coaches in the NBA right now. Billy Donovan's a dog shit coach. He hasn't done anything to prove that he deserves his job. And I don't get it. I don't get it. Let's move on to our final game. The Washington Wizards defeat the Indiana Pacers, but the Indiana Pacers get a win in the loss column. So I'm not talking about this game. Shout out the Washington Wizards defeating the Indiana Pacers and hooking up my Pacers fans with another better potential pick. All right. Those are all my takeaways from the game. We went over every single game from last night, headlining with the Pistons and ending it with the Wizards and Pacers. Let's move on to our final segment of today's show. I would like to say, if you guys are enjoying the stream and the TikTok, I would assure you guys would enjoy. Sorry, I forgot the Hawks 76ers game. Yeah, sorry. Caw. Shout out the Hawks. They defeated the 76ers. My apologies. I skipped over that tab. My bad, guys. The 76ers, I didn't watch this game, so I'm not going to pretend. I'm just going to box score watch for this game. I never do this. Kelly Oubre, horrible game. Dominic Barlow, horrible game. Andre Drummond, my boy, with a starting. He started. He had a good game on the box score, but he probably didn't have a good game in actuality. VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey are the only ones that showed up. Tyrese Maxey on an inefficient shot-chucking night, unfortunately, but nobody else is going to take those shots, so I don't blame him for emptying the clip. Jalen Johnson, unbelievable game, 32 points, 10 rebounds. Wow, 9 for 22. Not that efficient, but still a good game. Zachary Richache, best game of the year, 10 points, 7 rebounds. I don't think that's even out of pocket to say. With CJ McCollum dropping 23 points off the bench, so shout out the Hawks. All right, let's move on to our final segment, y'all. Final segment, TikTok. If you guys are enjoying the stream, be sure to swing on into the Twitch stream. The link is in my bio. TikTok, if you guys would like to join the conversation. Again, my Twitch stream is JZ Uncut on Twitch. I'd love for you guys to come through and join us. Next up, guys, we're going to play up or down. Up or down. So I'm going to say a topic, and you guys are going to let me know whether or not you are up or down on this topic, okay? Hit me up. I want to see the live chat go crazy in the Twitch stream. I'm really focused on you guys in the Twitch, so be sure to let me know whether you are up or down. Guys, first up, are you up or down on Adam Silver adjusting the anti-tanking rules? I'll tell y'all right now, I'm up on it. If you guys are unsure of what I'm talking about, Shams reported the possible changes that, did I put up and down or did I put up or down? Nice, okay. Up or down? Are you up or down on him adjusting the tanking rules? I'm up on this. There's no reason that more than a third of the league right now is tanking. That's not an exaggeration either. A third of the league is tanking right now. You cannot have 10 out of your 30 teams tanking. That can't happen. So I'm up on that. LaCurry James, thank you for the follow on Twitch. Shout out to you. I appreciate you for leaving the TikTok, coming in and letting me know that you're up. Be sure to join the Discord as well, my boy. We'd love to have you. Shout out to LaCurry James for leaving the TikTok and coming through to the Twitch stream. All right, let's go over the possible changes. He met with all the GMs. Hell yeah, Cask. I appreciate you for letting me know. So, first round picks can be protected only top 4 or top 14 plus. Okay, lottery odds freeze at the trade deadline or a later date. That's interesting. That's very interesting. No longer allowing a team to pick top 4 in consecutive years and or after consecutive bottom 3 finishes. It's funny. This one's funny because this wouldn't have affected the Pistons. The Pistons got 1 number 1 pick and then 3 number 5 picks immediately. So that won't really change a whole lot. But that works. That works. You don't need to let me know if you're like up or down on each of these. We are focused on just the general consensus of him adjusting these rules. I'm mainly focused on my Twitch chat, bro. So I would love for you to come through to the Twitch. Teams can't pick top 4 the year after making a conference finals. I think that's obvious. Lottery odds allocated based on 2-year records. I think that's good. Lottery extended to include all play-in teams. Hey, man, that's interesting. Flatten odds for all lottery teams. These are some very interesting possibilities. I don't know if any of these are going to be the ones that they ultimately roll with, but I think they could take pieces. Thank you, Solo, from the Twitch chat. You took the words right out of my mouth. You took the words right out of my mouth. I think they could take bits and pieces from each one. I genuinely believe so as well. LaCurry James, these are all possibilities. These aren't all like all of these are going to happen. These are all like possible scenarios that they could enact one of these. Okay. I'm not sure. Sebi, shout out to you for leaving the TikTok stream and coming through to the Twitch stream. I appreciate you very, very much. Sebi, the Oklahoma City Thunder having all of those first round picks is just, I'm not mad at it. They scammed all the other teams, and that's what happens, man. That's what happens. They still have their picks and they can do whatever they want with them. I think they could. I think the top 10 could all have flattened odds. I agree. I really, really agree. It's unfair, but the Sam Presti, don't make trades with him. Oliver and Sebi, thank you guys so much for the follows on Twitch. Sebi, you've already came through and chatted a lot in the Twitch stream. Holy hell, you're the GOAT. Make sure you join the Discord, bro. We'd love to have you in the Discord. Definitely join that. I love to see the energy that people bring in immediately into the Twitch stream. That's a beautiful thing to see. So yeah, I'm up on this. And I'm glad to see that most of y'all are up on this as well. Let's move on to our next topic. Okay, guys, remember, for anybody that tunes into the Twitch stream, I'm really only like responding out loud to things that pertain to the topic that I'm discussing. So if it is something else that you really want answered, I stay live after I end the podcast. So just stick around till the end of the stream, and we're still live. So if you have any questions, you can hit me up after the stream or in the Discord. Okay. So let's continue. Guys, help me out on here. Are you up or down? Up or down? This one's really general. And I hope you guys, this one should roll quick, okay? Are you up or down on the Houston Rockets offense? I'm going to let you guys answer. And I want to see a resounding response of the same answer, I hope. As we all know, the Houston Rockets won last night, but it was ugly. We were relying on a 37-year-old Kevin Durant, and that's how we have been looking all season long. I don't know if you guys have been paying attention, but yeah, Şengün has looked awful this year. I've talked about this plenty of times. His percentages are dropping every single game. Ladies and gentlemen, Alperen Şengün is shooting below 50% from the field as a 7-footer. He is shooting below 29% from three. Below 29% from three. My boy Ryan tuned in because he heard the Rockets. And he's shooting below 70% from the free throw line. This is not acceptable. This is not the leap that we were promised. This is not acceptable. It's just not acceptable. You should not be getting carried by a 37-year-old Kevin Durant. That's not happening. They need Fred VanVleet, and I don't think he's coming back this year. Baby Jokic, more like baby Greg Monroe, because those are Greg Monroe numbers. Their offense, they rank 28th in assists because all they do is ISO ball. They rank 21st in points because they can't score. They rank 26th in three-pointers made and 29th in three-pointers attempted, but they're 7th in makes. They just don't take them. Okay? And now you have Kevin Durant with the whole KD files and all of that. That is definitely not fake. I think it's pretty obvious why Kevin Durant is not on Twitter. Kevin Durant came out and said he will never leave Twitter. He's a Twitter god. And then his burner gets leaked. And now all of a sudden in a pre-game press conference, he said, and I quote, "I don't get into that Twitter nonsense." When just 3 days before, he was the king of Twitter. And now, unfortunately, some members on Twitter have ruined the moment for Sebi and a lot of other people. In case you don't know Sebi, that is not that guy. That is a completely different guy. He changed his name to Get Even Higher, not Get Higher 77, which is Kevin Durant's account. You fell for the bait. That was a joke that a guy changed his name to be similar to Kevin Durant's alt account. So unfortunately, Sebi, it is real. You fell for the bait and people in them pretending to be Kevin Durant. So the account is 100% real. It's not 98%. It's not 97%. It's not 99%. It is 100% Kevin Durant. It is 100% Kevin Durant. This team isn't going anywhere with this offense. They need a point guard. They didn't get a point guard. They need a competent coach. They don't have a competent coach. They had Steven Adams, who was grabbing every single rebound. He's not going to play until the playoffs. So we'll see, man. We'll see. It's very unfortunate. It's very, very unfortunate to see what I'm seeing. Kevin Durant is still him. Kevin Durant is still an amazing basketball player. Kevin Durant is still one of the greatest scorers in NBA history and will go down as such. But you should not be getting carried by a 37-year-old. As big of a loser as Kevin Durant is, and how garbage his resume is, and how big of a bitch he is in all actuality, he's still arguably one of the greatest basketball players of all time, and I love watching him. He's one of the most fun players I think there are only two players I can think in my time of living on this earth and watching basketball that have been more enjoyable as a Pistons fan. I think it's Kevin Durant and Kawhi Leonard. I think those two are the most fun players I have ever been able to just be a witness to. I think when they're feeling themselves, I think it's just incredible to watch. I'm being told that Luka, I agree. When Luka is hitting his shots, he's a joy. But when he's foul baiting, when he's flopping, when he's complaining to the refs, when he's not playing defense, and when he's shot chucking and not hitting those shots, he's arguably the worst watch in the entire NBA. Now, I have a final one. Are you guys up or down on this? Are you up or down on Cade Cunningham's MVP odds? I'm not telling you he's going to win, but Cade Cunningham should be a top 3 in MVP candidates, right? Are you up on it? I'm not saying he's going to win, but isn't it sort of disrespectful that Cade Cunningham is 5th in MVP voting right now? Can we just be so real with ourselves? Why is he 5th in MVP voting? 5th. You're telling me, and let's go in order. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, that's fine. I'm not arguing that. He's the MVP. Nikola Jokic, who, if he misses one more game, he was not eligible. Or I think 2 more games. If he misses 2 more games, he's not eligible to win MVP. And then you're telling me Jaylen Brown and Victor Wembanyama are ahead of Cade Cunningham, I think the only person that should be above Cade Cunningham is Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. I think that's it. I think the only person that should be above Cade is Shai. I don't think I'm crazy by saying that. I don't think I'm crazy. I don't think Jokic deserves it as much as Cade this year. He has led a team. Remember, narratives mean something as well. Do you guys genuinely believe that Russell Westbrook deserved MVP that year when he was, what, the 6th seed? No. Do you guys genuinely believe Derrick Rose deserved his MVP that year because he was the best player on the NBA? Fuck no. Do you guys genuinely believe that Steve Nash deserved both of those MVPs over Shaquille O'Neal? No. Do you guys believe that Joel Embiid deserved it over Jokic? Debatable. But let's just do this real quick. Derrick Rose in his MVP season he was averaging 25 points, 7.7 assists, and 4.1 rebounds. And he won MVP. Okay, let's go to Cade Cunningham. Surely he's got worse numbers than that, right? Okay, so Cade Cunningham averages more points. Cade Cunningham averages more rebounds. Cade Cunningham averages more assists. Cade Cunningham averages more steals. Cade Cunningham averages more blocks. Cade Cunningham averages the same field goal percentage, better three-point percentage, and better free throw percentage, and the same true shooting percentage. So I'm not telling you Cade Cunningham deserves to win MVP. But for him to be behind Jaylen Brown, Victor Wembanyama, and Nikola Jokic, I sort of think that's disrespectful. The Pistons are the number 1 seed in the East. They're 7 games ahead of the New York Knicks. At this time, 2 years ago, they had 8 wins. They had 8 wins this time 2 years ago. It's truly upsetting to see that the Detroit Pistons continue to get disrespected and continue to get ridiculed and just ignored. There's no reason. What I'm seeing from Cade Cunningham has truly been, it's been amazing. So I'm sort of upset. I'm sort of upset that they have that many players over him. I think I'm up on his MVP odds. The Nuggets are the 4th seed in the West. The Pistons have a better record than the Thunder. I think if the Pistons have the number 1 record in the NBA, he should at least be number 1 or 2. I think so. I think so. I think this is an amazing story, and I think this is a story that I want, that I genuinely think that they deserve. I gotta be fully honest with that. And that's going to do it for today's episode, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, we got some NBA games tonight that should be exciting. I hope you guys are excited as I am. That's going to do it for all the episodes this week. Today was a long episode, but I had a lot of stuff I wanted to cover. TikTok chat, YouTube chat. If you guys enjoyed this stream and you guys want more, we are still live on Twitch. Remember, guys, we stick around on all of these streams. So podcast listeners, TikTok listeners, YouTube listeners, we stay live on Twitch after we finish these podcasts. So if you guys want to talk with me more, not just about basketball, but live, video game, whatever the hell you guys want. We stay live on Twitch. Okay, guys? Podcast listeners, be sure to leave a 5-star rating and review. TikTok, be sure to drop a follow, drop those likes. Remember, we do this live Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern. If you guys want to watch these podcasts after the fact, I post them on Spotify, on Apple, and on the Jay-Z Courtside YouTube channel 5 minutes after I end the Twitch stream, so it could be like 30 minutes after I end these lives. Just remember, guys, I appreciate y'all very much, but I got nothing left to say. We'll be back Monday morning at 9 a.m. Eastern. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being you. And as always, guys, thank you for watching / listening, and I'll catch y'all Monday morning live at 9 a.m. Eastern. Have a blessed weekend, everybody. All right, guys. Oh, oops, forgot that.